Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and I have a frog in my throat. Um, Evidently, I have clearly picked up something, and so my voice has gone downhill. I have some hot tea next to me, along with many cough drops. We're going to see if I get better as this goes on. But today, we're talking about goal setting. So I'm with eCom Sellers, and my passion is helping people achieve their goals in their e-commerce business and in life. And one of the things that like I said, we're talking about goal setting. I am with Ecom Sellers. You can connect with me directly on Facebook. We're in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. We're also live on Clubhouse. And if you want to connect with me and schedule a coaching session, you can go to www.ecomsellers.com and then click on coaching. And from there, you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. I also want to encourage you to grab the Ecom Planner because you can use the Ecom Planner to establish your goals for the day, for the week, for the month, and for the year. So goal setting is an extremely important part of this journey, and so I encourage you to do that. So I'm gonna be sipping on some hot tea this whole time because of the fact that my throat is completely, I don't know, raw. Wasn't expecting that, and so um, yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow I'll be better. Tomorrow's our weekly planning session. So I encourage you to come back tomorrow and come hang out with us for our weekly planning session. So we're live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And in the e-commerce planning Facebook group, I grabbed an article. This article is from Indeed. And since we're talking about goal setting, let's see what this Indeed article has to say about goal setting and see if it's going to be helpful for us today. So I like to each day this month, I'm grabbing a random article online. We're going to review it against what I teach and what I share and what I try to help people do in their business and see how close it is to what we're teaching and what we're trying to do to help people achieve their goals in their business. So, whatever your goals are in your business, whether you're working to reach 100,000 by the end of the year, or if you're just working to reach 5,000 by the end of the year, what I would encourage you to do is make sure that you actually do have a goal set for whatever the goal is you're trying to reach, including if you're just trying to enlist more. So make sure that you have a goal for that. And one of the suggestions I always give is to use simple math. So if your goal is to get to 100,000 by the end of the year, I would encourage you to divide that number, whatever that goal number is, divided by the number of remaining months, the remaining weeks, and the remaining days in the year. You can get the remaining days in the year just by Googling it, and and then use that as a gauge on what you're working to hit, your target that you're working to hit every single day. So, since we're looking at this Indeed article, it says 10 effective goal setting techniques for achieving your goals. I don't know. This might be more employment related than it is what we're talking about, but we'll see. Let's just see. So, the first type of goal setting technique, they recommend is SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And I talk about SMART goals every week in the weekly planning session. I also talk about it in the monthly planning session. We do the monthly planning session the last Sunday of each month at 7 a.m. So you can come back and join us. And we host these daily sessions at 7 a.m. Monday through Saturday. So tomorrow is going to be our weekly planning session, and we'll go live there. The other thing with SMART goals, to expand on that, they say in this article, to evaluate, which I always encourage you to do, check and see where you are every 2 weeks and readjust. So always do that as well. Then there's a second technique that they recommend, which is hard goals. So hard goals, the outline for that is heartfelt. If you want to learn a new skill, imagine the pride of having that new skill. I talk about that all the time in our weekly planning session and also in our monthly planning session. Animated, wasn't expecting that. Visualize what achieving the goal will look like. Yep. Okay. I talk about that as well. Incorporate every sense that you can and imagine would sound, feel, smell, or taste like once you've achieved the goal? Achieved the goal. That I agree with 100%. Required, if possible, connect your goal to something that's necessary for you. Okay, so I think that's a good one. So the example they give is if you want to learn a public speaking, volunteer to present something on your company's behalf as an obligation for an obligation, uh, and it can motivate you to keep on going and reaching your goal. So definitely, I agree with that. And then the last one is difficult. Set a goal that challenges you. We talk about setting difficult goals all the time. We don't want the goals to be hard. We don't want them to be super easy. We want them to stretch us and push us beyond where we are today. So if your daily goal right now is to list 5 things a day, at some point we're going to reevaluate that and maybe increase it to 7 or 10. Because our objective, of course, around listing is that if we get faster at it, we get better at it. That means that we will actually have more time to list. An example that I give all the time is if when you're first starting off in this e-commerce journey, depending on the platform that you're selling on, if it's taking you, an hour to create a listing, well, that won't last always because as you continue on this journey of creating listings, you're actually going to get better at it and you're going to get faster at it. So that goal will have to be reassessed when you get that listing down to 30 minutes, then you get the listing down to 15 minutes, and then you get it down to 10 minutes, and then you're down to 6-minute listings. So, yeah, you're going to have to reassess that goal. It's not going to take you as long to create a listing, and that means you can increase the number of listings that you want to create each week. The next one, it says Whoop goals. Okay, I hadn't seen this before. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I refer to it as something else. So it says wish. Make sure your wish is exciting for you. Okay, so Whoop goals. So the first one is W. It's WOOP is what it is. And it says wish. Make sure your wish is exciting for you. Imagine the sort of goal that you would wish for and attach a specific positive feeling to your goal. Okay, still about that emotion. Outcome, imagine the best possible result of achieving your goal. I think of how you would feel if this happened and you visualize it. Again, back to visualization. So I get it. Obstacle. So consider what might prevent you or slow you down from your success. I talk about that all the time. Disruptions, interruptions, things that are going to break your pattern if you're working to be consistent in your business. For example, suppose you want to learn how to speed up your workflow. I just mentioned that. So, what types of obstacles are that are causing you to work at a slower pace? I literally just went through that exercise, and then plan and find solutions to any obstacles that might interfere with your goal. So, again, that one I talk about all the time. So, I did not know that this acronym WHOOP existed before, but WHOOP goals. Okay. Then there is OKR goals. I have not seen OKR goals, I don't think. OKR stands for objective and key results. Okay. This type of goal is common among management who want to set goals that may affect the entire company. Well, you might want to think of your business as an entire company because it is what it is. That is exactly what it is. OKR goals are also helpful for large groups of people who need to work together towards a bigger goal. Okay. So, objective and key results. Okay. Then we have micro goals. I call them mini goals or mini habits. So, many micro goals, it says, rather than setting one large goal, you can set multiple smaller goals that help you achieve an overarching goal. For example, the sales team might use use a visual representation. See, there goes that voice of their expanded goal, such as a thermometer chart. So you're sort of measuring where you are as as the color of each goal is reached. Of course, they're going to color each goal. Maybe it's every $5,000 they mark that. So that's good. I think micro goals are good. I track mini habits, and mini goals, and these are things that we're working little by little to achieve. So if you are currently working to just first of all be consistent about listing every single day, we'll start with that. And then from being consistent about listing every day, we move towards okay, now let's set a goal on how many listings per day. So We'll may start off with one listing per day just to be consistent about listing every day. Then we'll move to 3 listings a day after a week or so. And then after that, maybe 5 listings a day after a week or so. And then 7 or 10 listings a day. Again, it depends on your e-commerce method. That may or may not work for you. There may be something else you want to focus on if you're doing private label, because you may only have one specific listing. So maybe it's platforms. So again, working towards small goals. Backwards goal, this is the type of goal setting technique that involves using your goal to help you decide what the steps are. Yes, I dissect the steps. What are all the action steps? What's the process? I refer to it as an assembly line and breaking it down into small pieces. So then that way you can improve each one of those small pieces. So again, I agree with that on the little backwards goal. So re-engineering the goal. The next goal they have is values-based goal. This goal will be easier to achieve if they align the values that are important to you. For example, if you keep arriving at work late, you might consider responsibility of an important value. So set a goal for arriving on time. Remind yourself that it's going to be essential. Um, and if you want to be responsible and show others that responsibility is valuable, you motivate yourself to complete that goal. I mean, one of the things you could do, you could assign yourself. I used to do this with my son. Is he had to be a greeter at church. So now you have a responsibility. If in order for us to get to church on time, like you got to get up because you're a greeter, and so the greeter has to be there before church starts. So in order to be a greeter, you got to get up earlier so you can get there. So you could also do something like that. That's what I've done with my kids. And then the last one, I think this is the last one, maybe. Um, Lock and lengthen 5 principles of goal setting. Okay. So they have a technique for goal setting to help the goal setter succeed. So one is clarity. Set goals you can measure and understand. Doing so helps you achieve your goals. The next one is challenge. Make sure your goal requires effort to complete. Okay. And I always call it SMART goals, but okay. Rather than setting a goal to attend one leadership seminar each year, set a goal to attend one per month. Okay. So that sort of increases it. For your e-commerce business, maybe you go from, like I said, I use the example of creating listings. Start with 1 listing per day, and then eventually go up to 3 listings per day, and then 5. If you're working towards 10, then you gradually, by the end of the month, you're at 10 listings per day. So sort of a challenge to get there and then stay there or sustain it. Commitment, find a goal that you want to accomplish. And the more committed you are to achieving a goal, the more likely you are to complete it. And then feedback, work on your goals regularly and provide yourself with ongoing feedback. If you ask someone else for feedback, then this might help you even more. So getting feedback on how you're doing towards your goal and tracking where you are. Task complexity. Make sure the goal isn't beyond your ability to complete. For example, if you don't know how to code, um, it would help you in your career rather than set a goal of learning how to code using a language. Rather, one goal might be to aim to become more proficient in it. So I do talk a little bit about that. Oh, we have more goals. I'll talk about that just a little bit. That when you're setting your monthly goals and your weekly goals, if your goal is to get better at creating ads, if your goal is to get better at, if your goal is to get better at um, marketing, then you can tackle that goal one bite at a time by creating a goal that is for this month. For an hour every single week, I am going to focus on maybe Facebook ads. And then you immediately make sure you have Facebook ads related activities in that every single week, so that once you learn that, you can implement what you just learned immediately. This one, it says one word goals. This technique emphasizes simplicity. Find one word that describes your goal and use that as your motivation. This allows you to find the goal that is memorable and simple, which can help new goal setters find something achievable, doable for them. Okay, that one, maybe a good one. Um, then visual goals. We've been talking about visual goals, visual representations for goals this whole time. So I always think that that's important, and having those goals somewhere where you can see them all the time. You can look at them pictures will represent that. So like a vision board is a great example of visual goals. So I think this article was okay. Some of it, of course, is more job based than it is e-commerce or entrepreneurial based, but some of these techniques can help you in your business. So I don't think it was bad. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to step through today. If you don't have an ecom planner, you can definitely go grab one. We have the digital version and we have the physical version. So we are finishing up the first full week of April. Since today is April the 8th. And whatever you had on your agenda for this first full week, let's see if we knock it out. Hopefully taxes were on that list because, this is the time of the year where taxes are due. I know I have been slammed with taxes, working on stuff for our nonprofit, working on stuff for ecom sellers. I have literally been slammed with about 9 different things. But in any case, you can grab the digital planner or the physical planner at www.myecomplanner.com. Grab that planner. Use it to help you set your goals for the day, for the week, for the month, and for the year. And so you can track your progress every single day. In addition to that, if you want to schedule a coaching session so we can look at your plan, your agenda, your schedule, you can schedule a free coaching session, a 20-minute coaching session at www.ecomsellers.com, and you can click on coaching, and you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. So as we step through this and wrap up this call before my alarms start going off, the first thing is that I always encourage you every single day to make sure that you're setting aside time the night before. That would be Thursday night, to go through and one, assess how your day went. So how did Thursday go? Did you achieve your goals, whatever you had set for the day? If you didn't achieve all of them, don't beat yourself up. But did you achieve your goals? What do you need to carry forward into today? So we're tracking that, tracking our activity, especially if procrastination has been our biggest problem. We're definitely accounting for our time. So you're going to be your own personal time cop. So make sure that you document everything that you did right before you go to bed for the day. And you're going to update your daily stats, your numbers, your number of listings, the number of hours you worked, the number of sales, things like that. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our online calendar, because every day is not going to be a surprise to us anymore. We're not going to wake up surprised about what's supposed to happen today. The fact that you have a doctor's or dentist appointment today is not going to be a surprise. You knew about it yesterday. So even if you scheduled it 2 months ago, I'm just saying. So the goal is to minimize the surprises in our life. And then next is to build our schedule for tomorrow, which is Friday, right now. So we're going to do that before we go to bed. If you have a weekly planning session, if you participate in the weekly planning session, you'll be able to take that template and copy that into today, and that will give you a guide for what you're doing for Friday. That doesn't mean that the template doesn't get tweaked. It always gets tweaked if it needs to be, but you're going to use that as a basis for these are the common things that I do on Fridays. Okay. And you're going to include as many things as possible, everything from your, spiritual activities. Maybe you get up, you have morning meditation. So include those morning routines. Maybe you read personal development. Maybe you exercise and stretch. Maybe you have to get the kids ready. I know that's one of the things I have to raise my hand at. So maybe you have, meal prep, all of that stuff. Include the time that you spend on different things. Then the next thing is to get up today and spend 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes going through today's plan. So we're going to review last night for sure, or yesterday. Make sure that we included everything as possible, because when we wake up in the morning, we reset. I didn't get much sleep last night because I could not stop coughing. I could not breathe. So definitely going to have to take a nap today. There's just no way getting around that. Then the next thing is once we kind of reassess how we did yesterday, we're going to look at our weekly priorities and our weekly habits. Remember, this week is this is the first. This is the first full weekend in April, and the end of the week is Friday. So we want to make sure we don't forget anything. What are those things that we're tracking for the week? Where are we in our habit tracking? Where are we in our weekly priorities? And then we're going to look at the month and glance at that for just a second. And where are we? What are the things we're supposed to do in the first full week of April? Sorry. And then next, we're going to focus 100% on the schedule that we built yesterday. We're going to read it, write it, speak it. So we're speaking it into existence. We're ready to rock and roll today. We're going to reassess it, make sure we didn't forget anything we need to add, make adjustments so that we know what our guide is for the day. This is going to lead us into the rest of the day. And then we're going to write down our schedule for tomorrow, at least do an outline for it. So that's what we're doing this morning. Hopefully you make time to do that. And then we always want to be mindful of things that are going to disrupt, interrupt, block, impact our ability to stay on track, to keep our routine intact. Be mindful of those things and make adjustments throughout the week on your schedule to achieve those. So my name is Nicole Whitlock. Again, this is the eCom Sellers Morning Motivation, Morning Pep Talk. We do this every Monday through Saturday, despite how my voice is doing. And we encourage you to come back, share this out with a friend, let somebody else know about it. Check to see where you are in this process and how you're doing in your daily activities in your business. You know, 7-figure sellers, most of the time, not all the time, it's not by accident. And if it is by accident, it's definitely around consistent activity. So even if it is by accident, they're definitely consistent about their daily activity. So check where you are in your journey and see what adjustments you can make to help you get there. Grab the My Ecom Planner if you need help with focus, concentration, establishing goals, daily activities, daily routines. It will also help you with lots of other stuff. There's a lot of great stuff in there. And you can grab that at www.myecomplanner.com and go through the process of establishing your goals every single day and checking them out. The next thing that I want to encourage you to do, you can get the digital or the physical, either one. And then the next thing I want to encourage you to do is schedule a 20-minute coaching session if you feel like you just want to talk to somebody about your goals. Like I just want to bounce some ideas off of you. Feel like I'm achieving my goals or not achieving my goals. What do I need to tweak? What do I need to reevaluate? So you can schedule that at www.ecomsellers.com. Click on coaching and schedule a 20-minute coaching session. All right, with that being said, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and I am going to say goodbye for now. I hope you have an extremely productive, successful, um, and profitable day. I hope you achieve your goals. We'll say goodbye for now, guys. Bye.